So art is very much means of expression of thoughts, opinions and views that I have about what I see in the world, in my environment, society, people, etc. My current work is features basically aspects of rural India that really I think have been a part of our everyday life, just as we step out in the streets, as we take a cab, as we walk around, when we see women carrying their children, working in the construction sector, holding bricks, and we see children out on the streets begging when they should be sitting inside schools and given education. So a lot of these topics which I think are very much things that are being strongly considered and worked on by our government, but I think a lot of work still needs to be done at the grassroots level, and that those are the subjects that I have kind of made as part of my current series. But the only angle that I chose to work with was not to kind of bring down the subjects and probably bring about an aura of depression by using colors that are very mute or very toned down or very earthy colors or gray tones. I decided to actually use bright colors. I decided to use textures because this grabs the attention of the audience. The audience looks at that. Some of my subjects have, some of my paintings have a call out with a dialogue, which basically sends out a message to the viewer about what I want to communicate to them. So this is something that I'm working on currently, and I'm planning to continue within this series for some time now. Inspirations, I would say, are the work of other artists. I constantly visit galleries and exhibitions just to see, the work of other artists, and also, the colors and things that they use. Somehow that also inspires me and motivates me. Definitely the environment around me. One of the things I should say is sometimes work, the job that I do during the day depresses me almost so much that I have to come back home and work on my canvas, because that motivates me and that inspires me. So I would say that just my environment, things that I read, literature that I read, images that I see, philosophy, these are generally inspirational. This is actually a piece that, as I was earlier referring to, it's called Working Mom. Now, we often talk about, in our modern city life, we talk about working moms and corporate moms who often worry about daycare centers for their children when they're off to work, things like that. A lot of organizations worldwide are coming up with daycare centers for working mothers to leave their children and things like that. So that's the corporate mom, who's the business savvy chic lady. What about her? What about these women who are probably working much longer hours, barely being able to feed themselves and their children, probably suffering abuse at home from their husbands? A lot of situations, a lot of scenarios that happen with the rural women in India and probably worldwide, in a lot of other countries as well, is what I was trying to highlight through this situation, and really look at what kind of courage and what kind of determination she sports as she is spotted at work carrying her child on an average day. Now this painting is titled Take Me to School. This is actually, again, a rural Indian child, a girl child. in a lot of metropolitan cities in India and in a lot of towns, you still see children out there begging or not in schools, not in a classroom. My purpose was to really highlight this beaming child, this happy-go-lucky girl who really needs to be in school. And so that's why I've titled it Take Me to School. This is really an interpretation of human emotions, and while this is it's called two-faced. This expression is more of fright and scare and fear, whereas this one is more of shock. These are expressions that I really wanted to, we do see a lot of happiness, and we do see a lot of, other emotions, and I just felt that I would play on these two emotions with colors and really just have a kind of pop orientation to it, like a pop art orientation to it, and that's what this is about. This is called Got Some Milk, and this is again about the rural Indian mother who is out on the streets with her little child, a boy in this case, who is out begging, but unfortunately she does not have enough money to even provide for her son's basic need, which is milk. And so she is out there, and we've got a call out which asks, got some milk, to a vehicle that is passing by on a busy road.